Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey, everybody. How we doing today? We doing good? We almost to Friday, y'all. We almost to Friday. Yay. I'm on time for a change. Hey, how you doing, Undani? Hey, how you doing, everybody? I do not make my clothes myself now. I used to make all of my clothes years and years ago, but now I don't make my clothes. I almost don't have time to sew my clothes anymore. It's a fun thing to do, but it is also a time consuming thing to do. So when I retire myself and I have more time, I'll likely get back into sewing because I actually do enjoy like the creative process of creating a pattern and then cutting it out and then putting it together and coming up with a wonderful, item of clothing. You get your books tomorrow. There are people who have already gotten their books. I'm so excited. I am hustling to get these books out, y'all. I know that people are still kind of waiting on theirs. I am going as fast as I can to get these books out because this is a manual process for me. This isn't an automated process. Oh, you just got it, Miss Bailey. Yay, she just got it. So I am Thank you for the compliment, my colors. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. So like I said, this is a manual process for me. So I'm having to package myself, go take a whole gang of books, bags and bags of like books to the post office. And I can only carry so many because books are like heavy once you get them all together. So every day I'm headed to we're on a first name basis now at the post office. So every day I'm headed to the post office with a gang of books that I just dump for them to sort. And so I'm doing that as quickly as possible to get these books out. So I'm asking for a little bit of patience. I know USPS has that pickup service, but they kind of finicky about that in Chicago. Let's just be real. Chicago USPS is not, I don't trust them with my books. I don't trust it. I don't trust that they're going to deliver them all. I don't. I'd rather take them directly to the Chicago distributor post office. I'm more comfortable. That way it seems to me that it's more sure that everybody is going to get their books and it's not going to be some snafu about, oh, it got lost and this one wasn't delivered and this one never got tracked. You know what I mean? I'm real sketchy about USPS. They'll go ahead and deliver it, but they be acting stupid sometimes. So you really gotta be careful with them. So we got a heavy hitter today. I saw about a 10-minute clip. And this was in 1970. This is a clip from 1970. And it is a discussion slash debate between black men and black women about the interpersonal relationship between us. Mind you, this is in 1970, what we're talking about here. And it's an interesting thing because as you're going to hear, there's a lot that's going into it. What we're looking at, this time frame, this is pretty much where we see the emergence of the so-called Black feminism movement, right? It's right in the midst of the Black Revolution, Black Civil Rights era, and it's nearing its end. And really, the emergence of Black feminism hurried the end of what we think of as the Black Revolution or the Civil Rights era, okay? And right in the middle of that, Black men began to actually notice that Black women were experiencing a fundamental shift in their worldview and in the value system that Black women held, that Black women held. Black men were starting to sort of notice, wait a minute, it's something happening with y'all. Separately from what we talking about with the white supremacist power structure and white supremacy and racism and systemic racism and all of this other stuff. Like, we get that part. We've been doing that for a minute. But it's something happening with you, though, because now we finding that, we getting some friendly fire from y'all. So what is that really about? And there were Black men who were kind of waking up to that, like, wait a minute, I shouldn't be getting no friendly fire from you. Why do we have friendly fire? Why am I taking shots at all from what you are doing? Why are we taking any type of shot? Right? So they realized, likely with a sense of disbelief, that Black women were indeed turning on them. And that the root of that turn was white supremacy. Okay? The men who actually saw that immediately understood that the nature of the change was white supremacy, and they started speaking up against it. This is really where that gender war stuff really started, because not only was it Black feminism, it was also that intersectionality deal, which really goes hand in hand with Black feminism. For me, that's what Black feminism is. Black feminism is the concept of intersectionality, which makes it quote unquote different from white feminism, because they add on the victimhood of being Black to the victimhood of being a woman. And so when you add on the victimhood of being Black, along with that, now that is a pathway to now argue against Black men. Right? So when Black men began to speak up about what they saw, that fundamental shift that they began to see emerging more and more with the collective of Black women tried to fight that and tried to gaslight Black men about it, saying that Black men simply didn't want to see Black women succeed at anything or become anybody significant, right? So I'm setting up what's happening, what you're about to see in this clip. I'm not going to let the clip run completely because it's a 10-minute clip. So I'm going to let it sort of play, right? But this was never really the case. Black men were never trying to not have Black women to be somebody. It's just that Black men knew, even without the ability to express it in the terms that we're going to express it in today, that this newfound ideology that Black women was rocking and carrying was not given to them or shared with them by Black men. Right? We're going to get into it. Without further ado, Let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to take a look.
As a reporter for the Chicago Daily Defender, and as a black woman married to a black man, I become deeply aware of the effects of this new black revolution on the relationship between black man and black woman. I see it among my own friends, and I also see it in my home. But the most revealing and the most vocal statements about what the new black man expects from the new black woman came when I met with a group of young unmarried friends one Saturday afternoon.
I think that what's happening in America as far as black men, black women is concerned is that there's a revolution within a revolution. We are fighting our own woman. Our woman will not allow us to emerge as black men. No. But our black women, who has been put in this role of aiding white America, white structure, and castrating the black male, has continued doing this. She cannot live with us. It's not that we can't live with her.
Are you blaming us? Are you saying that it's our fault that this happened?
No, I'm not blaming black America women. I just said that I'm blaming the system. They are victims of the system like the black male.
Well, why do you...
Now, I'm going to speak to his point. I'm actually going to come back to you guys. And I'm going to actually speak to his point that he made, because he actually made a really good point just now, right? Really good point just now. And the point that he was making, he said it flat out. He said it flat out. We're at war with y'all. And y'all are attempting, using white supremacy, y'all are attempting to castrate the black male and not let us emerge as leaders. So we basically got to fight you too. You can't live with us. It's not that we can't live with you. So what he's saying is the issue is with you. You're having an issue. Now, where does your problem come from? Now, she did a classic deflect that hyenas do right now. Well, are you blaming us? They always want to know if they being blamed. Yeah. They always want to know if they being blamed. Yes. But he went right to the root of it and said, well, really, it's the system. Really, I'm blamed. You're a victim of it. Because when he said victim, this is what he's talking about. You're being used. You're being used. And you're like either don't see it or you're refusing to see it. But we as the men, we as your men, we see it. We have foresight. We see it. We see the okie doke that you apparently are not privy to. But we actually trying to wire you up. So all of that stuff about black women not knowing that they were the tools of white supremacy and didn't know how the system was using them, that's cap. That's cap. Because black men, once that emerged as something that black women were gravitating to in greater and greater number, not just one or two of y'all, black men was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is something else happening here. Because we're not giving you that culture. We're not giving you that. Where did you get that from? See, if we're not giving you a culture to pass on, it's only one other source that's going to give you a culture, and that's the ops. So now you taking on the culture of the ops. You with my ops. That's what he's saying. You with the ops. Thank you, Barry Little said, and the circle is complete. Good job, Kendra. Thank you so much. Thank you for kicking off the contributions. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your contribution, sweetheart. So he's saying, listen, we didn't give you that. So where you getting all this from? You turning on us and we see it. So now what's the problem? Because we telling you flat out, you're being used by white supremacy. Mind you, this is 1970. This is in the thick of the fight that black men are going through against this system. So they recognize the system. And they begin to recognize the system in black women. So y'all don't want to live with us. Right? Let's keep going.
Say that we are castrating you. You say that you want to be the leaders. Okay. Well, what about the black professional woman? Are you saying that there should be no black professional woman? Are you trying to deny black women the right to be creative, the right to function?
We're not asking for you to take a back seat. We're saying that you have got to be astute enough and can view the situation well enough where you just automatically know what your role is and step back. And whenever you want to have that aggressive thing, this is the thing that the young black man today is not going to tolerate. My old man tolerated it because his old man tolerated it. It came up for years and years and years. But today, the young black man is not going to take it. He's going to be out there as a leader.
White America has used black.
Before we go on, because there are points and points and points all throughout. This is a loaded 10 minutes. This 10 minutes is loaded. Okay? Thank you, CP. Said, what's good, CC? Where's the cat at? Oh, he's okay. This is loaded. This is loaded because she went ahead and asked a stupid question that ain't had nothing to do with nothing. So are you saying, what about the black professional woman? What about her? Because notice what she said before. You want to be the leader, but what about the black professional woman? Because they equate, and they have always equated getting some type of education or getting some type of little career or job as their right to be your leader. They have always equated getting some type of education or some type of career as the right. That is their right to become the leader of black men. So now what about the professional black woman? Are you denying that there should be professional black women or denying women the right to be creative? Ain't nobody said nothing like that. How we go from you being used by white supremacy to we don't want y'all to be professional? What that's got to do with it? See, there's a tie and there's a link underneath it. Because what she's saying is, listen, we are being utilized by white supremacy, but they're giving us something. They are giving us something you don't give us. And the reason why black men aren't giving it is because black men are not in charge of this environment. The educational institution and all of the economy and the things that surround and create and make up the economy, that's all under environment. Black men do not control this environment. Zaddy does. So when he opens parts of it up to black women, that's what she's getting. That's what she's getting out of it. So she's telling him, what about the professional black woman? Shouldn't she have leadership? No. And the black man, the other man was like, you need to be astute enough to understand your role. Be women. Be women. Continue to be women. Nobody told you you couldn't have a profession. Nobody told you you couldn't get an education. Nobody tell you that. Nobody did tell you you couldn't be a secretary down at the white man's office downtown. Nobody told you since you raring to go down there. Since you raring to be his secretary in an all-white office where you get spit on when you go in and out of the office building, ain't nobody tell you couldn't do it. You rather let the white man spit on you at work than for me to cover you at home. Fine. You do that. Nobody told you didn't have the right to get spit on by Zaddy. You can go ahead and get spit on by Zaddy. Seem like you're kinky, like you like it. But what we want you to do is be astute enough to understand that you are a woman and what your role is with us as men as your men, supposedly. You're supposed to be the women of our family and our community, supposedly. Supposedly. See, what we're looking at is black men understanding that this little culture shift that black women got going on or had going on that's still going on today spells the doom of the family. It spelled the doom of the family, and the cracks manifested themselves quickly. That's what black men were looking at. It's starting to break down already. The breakdown already has begun because of the way y'all thinking. Y'all are not our women. Y'all thinking some other kind of way. Now, at this time, black men are still thinking there might be a chance to turn these women around if they tell them what's going on. Maybe you don't know. But if I tell you what's going on, you understand? Maybe you'll turn it around. Little did they know. They didn't turn it around. They wasn't going to. They had no intention of turning it around. Because the breakdown of the family had not progressed to rampant single motherhood yet. Not at that time. But it was getting there fast. It was getting there fast. Because see, by this time, the Moynihan report had already been done. And black women did not like that report. You're going to hear them mention it. Black women did not like that little report. The Moynihan report. Because what happened was the gynocracy was predicted by it. The structure of the gynocracy was predicted by the Moynihan report. And then they started trying to gaslight black men by saying, oh, it's never going to go that way. It's never going to be like that. Our community has never been like that.
Black women to keep the black male in his place. And you're still aiding them by saying, well, we are qualified, we want to work, we can help.
Okay, how are you going to reprogram men so that they don't let us take over what's supposed to be their responsibility? And men that I have had dealings with, they are perfectly willing to sit back and let us do anything we want to.
I don't think you have to reprogram men. I think you have to reprogram women.
No, you have to reprogram the man so that he will forcefully take what belongs to him, because you know women, as long as we can get, we're going to get, and it's part of our being. We're going to do anything to you that you let us, whether we want to or not.
That was key. That was key right there. Let me come back to you on that one. Let me come back to you on that one. That right there, what she said, key. Key. She told him right there the very mechanism why they could be used as tools for white supremacy, why they could be used, why they were used, why they let themselves be used to crush and destroy the community. She told him, how can we reprogram the men to not let us take what belonged to them? He said, I don't think we need to reprogram men. We need to reprogram women, because y'all the ones with the value system switch. We ain't changed. Reprogram us for what? The men did not change. The men have not changed. Let me break that down for y'all. Let me break this down for y'all. The men have not changed. The expectation of men has not changed. Millennia after millennia, men are expected to do the same thing that they have always done, that their predecessors have always done, that their forefathers have always done. Men are always expected to provide. They are always expected to problem solve. They are always expected to protect. They are always expected to procreate without fail, without falter. Do you understand that? Men have always been relied upon to build the world, the world you live in, the world you benefit from. Men have been called, not women, men. Men have been called to do that. Men build the infrastructures of societies and civilizations. Men do that. Men plan them out. And then men execute it. For what? The comfort of women and children. So men don't need no reprogramming because you still want him to come give you money. He don't need no reprogramming. You still want to come to him with all your chaos and have him to solve all them problems. You still want him to protect you and be a guard dog and give his life every time you say so. Men have not changed. And women don't want them to change. I don't care what kind of cap you say. I don't care what kind of feminism you get under. I don't care what kind of gynocracy you are in. They never want men to change. Because if men stop doing what men do, women will die. Period, point blank. Thank you, Eric Damon said, wow, there it is right there. So they knew exactly what would happen to the community and didn't care. Precisely. Now you understand why I entitled it the way that I did. I don't care what kind of feminist she is. I don't care what kind of strong and independent she is. I don't care what she say. I don't care how much money she make. I don't care what she do. Women will die if men change. I need that to sink in. Women will die. They will suffer desperately if men change. Because some of the men have changed and they complaining. There's a small percentage of men that have changed, that don't think about masculinity the same way, and they ridicule them men. They don't want them men nowhere near them doing nothing. Thank you, Frederick Howard said puppets for Mr. Pinky, aka Black women. Thank you so much for y'all contributions. I really appreciate them. Without the men, the women suffer. Black women, whether y'all believe it or not, let me talk to you, collective of black women that believe this foolishness. Whether you believe it or not, you suffer for the absence of black men. You suffer for pushing them away. You suffer for being the tools of white supremacy to destroy your family, to destroy him and destroy your children. And the thing that you didn't know, because you knew the family would be destroyed. You knew black men would be marginalized. You knew your children would be left to the wolves. You didn't care about the outcome of none of that. The only thing that's got you shaking in your boots now is because you didn't understand the other shoe that was going to drop is that you were being destroyed as well. Zaddy didn't care about you either. You went when the wagon came too. That's the part you didn't know. That's the other shoe that dropped on your head. You didn't care about the shoe dropping on everybody else. You thought you was going to get scot-free. You was going to get away scot-free, and you not. You not. He going to leave you to rot in the very community that you helped destroy. He going to leave you in it. He already started. Thank you, Miss Bella. He already started. He already leaving you right where you stand. He already pulling all of this stuff away from you. He pulling all the essentials, your house and your food. The ability to acquire your basic needs. Pulling your job, pulling your money, pulling all your sources of income. And he leaving you to rot there. that's the only part of that equation that you didn't see, and that's the only part of it you cared about. That's why it's passport bros. That's why black men ain't thinking about it no more. They really ain't thinking about it now because that brother said it. He said the young black man ain't taking it. They really ain't taking it in 2023 because they see you for the traitor that you are and the traitor that you've been to them. We're going to get back to it. But right now, I think I owe y'all something. This is midway through. What I owe y'all? I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, Because we got 360 wonderful people who have hit the like button. Let's see if we can get the other 500 or 600 to hit the like button as well so we can make our way into the algorithm. And I want to bring everybody's attention to the fact that you can go right now to crimsoncure.com and pick up your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, where I talk about this type of stuff in this book. You can also get it on Amazon if you prefer the digital copy of this book. We are shipping them now, so we're not waiting for revisions or anything like that. We're done with that. We are shipping them out. Thank you so much, Pharaoh. Said all praise due to Allah. This video is the best. Thank you so much. And I thank everyone for your contributions as well. I like contributions. I like them. Anyway, let's get back to it. Thank you, Screen Name. Say, honestly, due to the genetic superiority of brothers, we technically cannot be stopped. So actually, brothers do not, in fact, need sisters. Thank you, Teray. And they don't like biology either. So they don't like that. Thank you, Teray Mac. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Copper Eye Warriors, thank you, beautiful one, for what you do. Thank you for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to get back to this cook, right? Because before I get back to the video, let me finish fleshing out what she said. She said, we're going to do what you let us do. You know, women, as long as we can get, we going to get. And we are going to do anything you let us do, whether we want to or not. That said a lot. What she said was Crimsonese translation. We're chaotic in our nature as women. And we are selfish in our nature as women. Zaddy knows this. So what he did was he gave us things, trinkets, items, things that in this society only he could give because only he's in control of it. We gonna get as long as we can get, as long as he's giving out welfare, as long as he's giving out Section 8, as long as he's giving out these little programs and dangling education and dangling jobs and dangling money and dangling all this stuff in our face, we gonna continue to take it, and we gonna take it at your expense. We'll never bow to you as long as he's doing that. We don't care about the fight we've been through. We don't care about the fight you're going through. We don't care. As long as Daddy give us what we want, we don't care. If you want us to stop doing that, then you gotta basically knock him off the throne. Go. This is why the Cynthia G's of the world be talking about go defeat white supremacy and then come back to me. That's what she's saying. That's what she's saying. We're not gonna cooperate. We're not gonna do nothing. As long as he giving us them trinkets, we're not doing nothing for you. Nothing. We're not gonna do nothing to help better you. We're not going to do nothing because we don't see bettering you as bettering me. But what we do see as is bettering us is working with white supremacy. I told you, hashtag black woman said white supremacy is better for black women. And the Cynthia G's of the world agree with that. You understand what I'm saying? They know it. They know what they doing. They know they the ops. They know they work with the ops against you. Thank you, Donovan Sweet. Said they have ran the community for so long and look where we are now. Exactly. We're going to listen to a little bit more. Thank you, Salud Ben Israel. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for your contribution. Thank you.
You don't want to live on the level of income that I can afford you and love me on the basis of that. You want to always be aspiring to have all those things that's a part of the great middle class white American society. And because I can't deliver these things to you, you say that you are not a man.
I don't measure a man by how much money he can bring home. I measure a man by how he treats me. Whether when I'm tired and I'm sick and I'm scared, he's there. For these.
But what man is she talking about? What man is she talking about? She ain't talking about black men. She's not talking about black men. You understand that? She's not talking about black men. Oh, it ain't cap. She not lying. She telling the absolute truth. It's just that she not talking about black men. She is not referring to black men when she say that. Because he was referring to her, black women. You don't want to live on my level of income. And because I don't give you what white middle class America give you, you tell me I'm not a man. And then she said, I don't measure a man by his income. Who's a man? Not black men. Y'all got to start deciphering gynocratic talk. Thank you, France. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much, Timothy Blewett. I appreciate you guys so much. See, this is what we talking about. She's not talking to black men. She said, when I'm sick, when I'm scared, he's there. Who problem solves for her? Not black men. Who's her provider? Not black men. Not who she talking about. She talking about Zaddy. That's why she say I measure him by how he treat me. Because he's treating me better than you treat me. That's what she's saying. Thank you, Stardust, that other black men have taken on these talking points. Yes. Thank you, 39 Dina. She's talking about Zaddy. So everything she said was absolutely the truth. It just don't apply to black men. I'm not talking to y'all. She talking about her real man. The one that she considers to be a man. Thank you, Nehemia. So it seems to me that black women use the language Willie Lynch has instituted in his letter. Exactly. Almost verbatim. Thank you so much. It's almost verbatim. Black men don't make them feel safe. White men do. It's his system that they taking cover under. I'm going to let it play a little bit more. Just a little bit.
Women, the men are there. But with the feeling of racial pride has come new conflicts and new problems. Across America, they meet to discuss what Black awareness means to their families and to them as Black women of today.
You know, there have been a lot of myths created about the Black family. We all recognize that. And one of the most pernicious myths is the myth of the Black matriarch, you know. And this whole concept, and I think this is one of the reasons that the Black community reacted so negatively to the Moynihan report, because we know that that's not true.
It was not like
the Black woman has not been a matriarch in the sense that it has been defined thus far. And thank God research, and I hope Black research is being done now to reverse that kind of thing. In fact, the Black woman has been a woman at the head of a household, not by choice, but by necessity. And more often, that's right, and more often than not, she is not a strong, matriarchal, aggressive, domineering figure. She is a woman in search of a man. But this story has not been told.
The prejudiced society.
I want to end that off right there. That was the gaslight that I needed y'all to hear. Thank you, Quantum Solace. Said its validity is going to take literally the bellies of the sisterhood to reach their backs in order for her to acknowledge the inevitable nature of her disloyalty to herself. Thank you so much. That was the gaslight that I wanted y'all to hear. We're not a matrix. No, you're not a matriarchy. You're a gynocracy. There's a difference, because proper matriarchies only operate under patriarchies anyway. Okay? And that is when women are in charge of the domain of women, home and hearth and things of that nature. And that's not really a matriarchy. Not really. There has been no successful society that is a matriarchy. There has been no successful society like that. Any society that becomes a matriarchy is doomed. And they're not going to make it, because it actually takes the leadership and the foresight of men to maintain or build any society or civilization. So any society that ends up being a matriarchy, that's the end of that society. It's not going to flourish now. It's dead. It's dead. When women run everything, it's dead. Time to scrap it and start over. We got to scrap it and start over. Thank you, Timothy, once again. So these BWs have the Romans on speed dial to protect them against Black men. Exactly. That's why she's like, oh, we reacted badly to the Moynihan report. No. The Moynihan report predicted the gynocracy. And that's the part they didn't like. We just in search of a man. No. You're in search of Zaddy's butter biscuits. That's what you were in search of. Not nothing else. You don't want Black men because you don't value them, because Zaddy don't value them. White men don't value them. White society don't value them. So whatever white society don't value, that's what hyenas don't value. And the thing that they value the least is a Black man in every sense of him. Thank you, Mr. SS, supporting Black media. Thank you so much. Thank you, Coogee, indeed. So just coming through to pay my tithes. Keep up the good work, sister. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. That's all that y'all was really trying to get after, was some butter biscuits. See, here's the thing. The collective of Black women. I did this show to illustrate that the collective mindset of Black women, because this is the, like I said in the beginning, the feminism and the intersectionality. This is the emergence where Black women are more vocal about having that mindset. The collective of black women have always been willing agents of white supremacy. Even on the plantation they were. It was more pronounced here. They wanted black men to force them into subjugation while at the same time protesting against a black patriarchy that really never existed. And it don't exist to this day. It was at this point in time that black men and black women began to have a wildly different experience culturally and environmentally from one another. Black men began to have a completely different, see, up until that point, they were having similar experiences, similar oppression. This is why they could identify with one another, because the oppression was similar. She saw her man get lynched and, railroaded in court and accosted, and she watched all of that, and she understood because Zaddy was attacking her too and her children too directly, so she couldn't identify with Zaddy because he's not doing all of this other stuff. He's not giving her no butter biscuits. He's attacking her like the ops. So she see him as the ops. But once he came and played nice with her, smooze up a little bit. Oh, girl, hey, baby girl. What's going on, baby girl? How you doing? I ain't really after you. You know what I'm saying? I know you taking little few shots, but I don't really mean that with you. I'm really just trying to get at him. And you know why I'm trying to get at him? Because he ain't doing you right either, baby girl. I mean, just think about it. He can't really give you the life I can give you. Can he really give you that? He can't really give you that. Girl, come here. Look at me. I got you. All you got to do is roll with me. Now, it's going to look funny some of them times. It's gonna look like I ain't really doing you right, but I'm going to always do right by you. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I'm going to always make sure you got a place to stay. I'm going to always make sure you and your kids can eat. I'm going to always make sure, that you can make a few extra dollars. You know what I'm saying? Look at me, baby girl. Look, come on, look at me. Look me in my eyes. You see what I'm saying? I love you, okay? I got your back. I love you, babe. Okay? Just watch it. He can't do for you what I can do. He can't do for you what I can do for you. You understand that? Smooth talked her. Had that mouthpiece for her. And she like, okay, idiot. So like I said, it was at this point, thank you again, Frederick said this is what the devil told Eve. Precisely. It was at this point that black men and black women began to have this very divergent experience, both culturally and environmentally, from one another. Black men tried to prevent the cultural and biological switch. They tried. This is an example of black men coming to these forums, coming to these places, publicly talking to black women, trying to stop that switch from happening culturally and biologically by reminding her who she is and who he is and who the ops really is, right? And the reason why black men were trying to control the culture and the biology is because they knew they couldn't control the environment. We know that. But they were trying to control the culture and the biology. And if black men had been allowed to maintain the control of black culture, the beliefs about our biology would never have changed so drastically, and we would have been able to maintain our own value system. That was the reason why black men were forced out. That was the purpose. That was the design of that. To get them out of a situation where black men could control the culture and the biology. Because if black men could control 2 out of 3, the third one don't matter. You can't switch a value system if all 3 are not affected Simultaneously, that is what black men understood that black women refused to understand. That is what they understood. That's why they started talking like this. Hey, y'all are finna mess up. Y'all messing up. Y'all gonna fool around and find out. Y'all are messing up the culture. We cannot allow them to switch you. Because if we not giving you culture, that means the white man is giving you culture. And if he's giving you culture, we're out of there. We might as well hang this up. And lo and behold, lo and behold, here we are. Thank you, Marvin Thompson. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank you, my wonderful Norrin. I sent your book out, I think the other day, Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate you so much. This is the thing. Black men understood this dynamic. They understood biology, culture, and environment. They also understood bioculturon, that a value system cannot be changed if all three cannot be changed simultaneously. Even if you hold one, even if you maintain control over one, that's enough to throw the entire system off. Because black women were willing did not mean that they completely understood bioculturon. Black women were willing participants, but they didn't understand bioculturon, because if they did, they wouldn't have done what they done. They didn't understand that. They did not have the foresight to truly understand all of the fallout from the separation and the destruction of the community that they were willing to participate in. See, black women were only looking for the immediate and the short-term gain, the short-term butter biscuit, not the long gain. Couldn't see that. Short-term butter biscuits. I could get this, I could get that. And as long as they appeared to be receiving the crumbs off of Master's table, they continued to go along with white supremacy and the destruction of everybody else. They was perfectly content to do that. They didn't care if black men got thrown under the bus. They didn't care if their children get thrown under the bus. They didn't care about none of that stuff. Thank you, Terenzo. Said these colorful men she talking about don't exist. Literally, people, what color is black and white? Psychologically, my goodness, people, think about it. Thank you so much, Terenzo. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, A+, said by the time modern black women recognize the scam of white supremacy, it will be no one to save them or the children they raise single. Thank you. Exactly. This is what we in right now. This is what we in right now, A+. This is what Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul, this is what he was talking about when he said winter's coming. It's here. They already playing the last play. This the last play. This the fourth quarter. We in the last 2 minutes. This is a 2-minute drill. They on the goal line. Third down. Got to make a goal line stand. Well, they got to get through. Do you run or do you pass? Because this for all the marbles. Now, only now, do black women understand. Oh, we're defense. And we got to make a goal line stand? Yeah. Got to make a goal line stand. You thought you was the offense with the offense marching down the field. No. You about to give up this touchdown. You about to give it up. You about to lose the Super Bowl in grand fashion. You about to. They didn't understand the method of bioculture. They didn't understand that. Like I said, only looking for the immediate gain, the immediate thing. She didn't care everybody get destroyed. The only problem is that she never thought she'd be included in the destruction. But she is. Never thought in a million. I don't know why you never thought Zaddy would turn on you. He turned on everybody, literally everybody. Literally everybody. Now they looking to black men to fix what they broke, and it's not acceptable. Black women participated in the willful breaking of the social contract with black men, and now there's no turning back from that. You can't come back from it. The solution here, let me talk to you for 1 second before we wrap this up. The solution here is to finally attempt, this is for lionesses, attempt to understand the interplay of biology, culture, and environment as bioculture. Only the lioness is equipped to understand this, because only the lioness did not personally break this contract in her own life, in her own dealings. But she is suffering the effect of the breaking of that contract. Never believe that the lioness is living in a vacuum, because we're not. We see the effect and we suffer it in different ways. So it's really up to the lioness to help restore order among those that are willing, ready, and capable to create a new community based upon the correct value system. The correct value system. This understanding is necessary in order to prevent another value system switch in the future, which basically resets us as a group of people and puts us right back into the trick bag of the lost value system, so we could be controlled and manipulated by everybody. We have to be more aware of the danger and how the danger comes about in the first place. And if not, we will become effectively extinct as a people. We will. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We will. They're already doing it. It's almost complete. Remember, I talked about how to extinct a species. You breed them out, you neuter them, you work on them biologically, then you work on them culturally through culture, social policies, social engineering. Not having any stability, putting them in survival mode. Then you work them environmentally through the institutions, the educational institution, the legal institution, the housing, the banking, all of that, all of it. Take land from you. This is why they'll never want to give no reparations. They dangling reparations now. Now they want to dangle reparations. Now how much you want to bet they finna put so many stipulations on that reparations that it won't be reparations? Do you understand that? They dangling stuff in you. Now they playing in your face. Thank you, Rugged Techie said, why gain the world and lose your soul? Thank you so much. Thank you, John Telly said, I think lionesses need to get on that plane with us. We do. We really do. But I needed to bring this to you all. When I saw the clip, it was very important. Very important that we understand these concepts. Because as long as we do not understand these concepts, we will continue to be reset and controlled by others and constantly in a lost value system until we just die out. And we won't die out individually on a physical level. We just won't be nobody. We just won't be nothing. We just won't be nothing. Nothing. We won't even be able to call ourselves nothing. Just a bunch of individuals that happen to have melanin. That's it. Value system shot. So anyway, just wanted to bring all of that to you guys' attention. I want to thank you for such generous contributions. Thank you for all of your support, because your continued support does allow me to continue to bring you content. I want to also just remind everyone about joining Patreon. If you are one of my patrons, what you need to do, I have already about a couple of weeks ago restructured my Patreon so that there are only 2 levels. $5 is just monetary support if you want to do that. $20 is where you come to get all of the new content that I'm going to start dropping beginning on Sunday, because I told you I would start dropping in February. So beginning on Sunday, you're going to have some content on Patreon that is exclusive to Patreon and exclusive to the $20 tier. If you are in any other tier right now other than $5 or $20, I would encourage you to migrate to one of those other tiers, because once those tiers are phased out, because I'm phasing them out, Patreon will continue to charge you, but you won't have access to nothing. And you'll be getting charged just for no reason, but you won't have access to the content that I bring. So I'm encouraging you all to go to my Patreon, sign up, hit for $5 for the monetary. $20 is where you're going to get the content and any other perks or, things, promotions that we have available in the future, okay? So I just want to remind you, the link to the Patreon is actually in the description box. If one of my mods can do so, please go in the description box and get my Patreon link and put it in the chat so everybody will be able to do so. Click on the Patreon if they want to do that. Also, last but not least, you can click up, I've pinned the comment at the top of the chat if you want to go and pick up your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, which is on sale now and is also on sale on Amazon. So we've updated that Amazon book, so you're going to have the full Kindle experience. It's not going to be too small and all that. You can adjust it and whatever you would do with a normal Kindle book. So we've updated that as well for everybody. And let's see. Let me check. I always want to give shout outs to people who have sent me cash apps. I want to thank Robert for his cash app. Thank you so very much. Brother Waleed, thank you so much for your cash app as well. Brother Henry, thank you. And Brother CC, I want to thank you so much. Oh, and I got a generous contribution from Brother Joseph. Thank you as well for your Cash App contributions. Thank you. And with that being said, I want to sign off and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.